The energy is incredibly intense at the moment, and we are seeing this play out in our external reality experience, of course, in the political arena, and also in the spiritual community. So this update, what I'm speaking about now, is all inclusive on the energetic. As per my last video, I spoke about the energy associated to narcissism, that dense energetic that is now lingering above the Earth's surface, that is being transmuted. And because of this, we are seeing individuals within the collective consciousness, the political arena, all inclusive, acting out, reflecting this energetic back to us. And what is so important right now and what is taking place is that the light is standing up for itself. The light isn't backing down. And this ties into the masculine warrior archetype. You'll be aware of the 4 masculine archetypes: the king, the lover, the magician, and the warrior. All of these archetypes, a part of the personality structure, are necessary in order for an individual to be and act in alignment with the light. So the warrior archetype at the moment is standing out and is very necessary in order for the light to come out on top this time, which it is. The light is going to come out on top, and we're seeing this play out. We're seeing very obviously in the political arena at the moment a lot of negativity playing out, a lot of manipulation. This is associated to narcissism. There's fraud taking place. There is mind control, psychological warfare, and it is very obvious. And we are seeing the light counteracting this, the light standing up for itself, the light saying we are not going to accept this, the light saying we are not consenting to this. In the past, at times the light has just allowed the darkness to carry on and perpetuate these cycles in the way that they have done. But right now what we are seeing is the light warrior, the masculine archetype, standing in its power, not allowing, not consenting to these manipulation tactics, because the light, and in the political arena at the moment, the individuals who are embodying the light, representing the light, are very aware of what is going on. And there is evidence supporting this, and they know this, and they are not going to accept this. And what I've been shown is that at the end of the day, the light wins. The light has already won. We are shifting into this experience, no matter what it looks like, what major media outlets are feeding the collective consciousness, the deception, manipulation, the control. No matter what it looks like, the light comes out on top. So this correlates with everything in our waking life. So in the spiritual community, in our everyday relationships, we are seeing this play out. The darkness is acting out, getting very loud, as I have spoken about many times before. So individuals are being attacked. The darkness attempts to break down the light, to dismantle the light, to disempower the light. That is the darkness's tactic. So individuals are attacking one another at the moment. And pertaining to the spiritual community, the light is saying no more. The light is standing in its power. The light is calling the darkness out. And this is very, very evident at the moment. If you look closer, if you tune into the energetic of any individuals expressing themselves, so not only what's coming through the media at the moment, what's happening on the world stage, but in the spiritual community, in our individual relationships, by tuning into the energy, like I always speak about, there is a wealth of information in that energy. And through feeling, we are able to discern. Discernment is key at the moment. To discern whether that individual is acting in alignment with the light or out of alignment, discord, separation, darkness. Sometimes an individual, as we all know, can say one thing, but it can mean something completely opposite to what is being said. And the agenda, the energy, will speak louder than words. So by tuning into the energy, we are able to, through our navigation system with our higher self, through feeling, contracted state, like I always speak about, that's when we are being lied to, if there's a contraction in the body. If there is an expansion within the physical form, this is an indication that the information flowing through another is in alignment and there is truth. So discernment during these times. Also, what is very key and important at the moment, I mentioned the word consensus. So the light is not consenting, not accepting that which is not of the light. So if you are on a public platform within your relationships, whatever you're exposing yourself to, it's also to know that it is okay. It is more than okay to say no to something that is an insult to you. This is the darkness's tactic. It is okay if you're on social media or anywhere in life, you can pertain this to any form of relationship, to say no. It is okay, more than okay. I've been shown this many, many times, and sometimes I didn't want to do it. But my guides came through and they said it's okay to unfriend that person. It is okay to unfollow that person. It is okay to block that person. Further to this, my guides came through on many occasions. Okay, and I've had a lot of practice with this. I've studied the darkness in all its detail. I understand narcissism through and through. I understand when there are entities working through people. And this is often the case. When there are attacks, when there is negativity being spread. So on your platform, in your space, look at it as your space. If individuals come into your space, you didn't ask them to come into your space, you didn't ask them to spread negativity. More often than not, you won't even know who they are. They are trying to break you down. It is okay to remove that person from your space. Unfriend, block, whatever the case is. Often, it is necessary to block a person. Because these individuals, especially when there's darkness working through them, there's an entity involved. They don't know how to take no for an answer. As you all know, this is one of the traits of narcissism. They don't know what no means. So when you don't block them, they'll find another avenue and another avenue and another avenue. It'll never stop. So you have to completely remove yourself from the situation because it is damaging. So it is okay to do this. It is more than okay. All right, always, like I always say, to check in with the self to see if there isn't a trigger from the situation going off through self-reflection, through feeling. If there isn't an overreaction or anything like that, always check in with the self. But during these times, discernment is key at the moment, and also just to allow the reality experience that you're in right now to flow naturally. Always with kindness, compassion, with love, and through feeling. This is our guidance navigation system. And by trusting this, everything will always unfold. Not just okay in one's favor, but better than expected. So this is the dense energetic lingering in the atmosphere at the moment. Okay, and when this happens, we are seeing this being reflected by individuals, and it's becoming more and more obvious. This is the manifestation of that energetic. So this is what takes place while it is leaving. The darkness gets very, very loud. When we awaken, when we ascend in consciousness, we become more aware of the darkness, not less aware of the darkness. That's why this journey can be challenging when ascending in consciousness, because we see the truth behind what is really going on. So trusting the self right now, the warrior archetype, it is okay to say no. If you think about all the great warriors and teachers from many, many years ago, okay, there was a time when it was necessary to stand up to the darkness, to fight for what is in alignment with the light. It is a necessary part of this journey. It is also a great act of self-love to say no to something that insults our soul, our purpose. It's all encompassing, all inclusive. I myself did it the different way years ago. I allowed people to do whatever they wanted. I was a representation of light and love. I didn't want to say no to people. I didn't want to upset them. So I allowed it, thinking that just by pure embodiment alone that these individuals would make the changes, but they didn't. And I learned a very, very harsh lesson, which was a beautiful lesson, all perfectly designed, that I understood that it is okay to say no. And sometimes sooner rather than later. Otherwise we're entrenched in that narrative, in that repeated cycle, in the old. And the old gets very, very tiring. And if you have done it, that's also okay. To forgive the self immediately, not even forgiveness, it's perfect. Acceptance, great, that happened. Now I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to say yes to that thing again because it was very painful. That's how we learn. That's the toolkit. It's all inclusive. So everything at the moment, the lingering energetics, are being reflected back to us through individuals. The beautiful news is, like I've said, that the light has had no more and is saying no to the darkness. You'll see this in the political arena. You'll see this playing out in many ways, shapes, and forms within your reality experience moving forward. There's too much light on the earth plane. There are too many individuals embodying the light, which is exponentially more powerful when it is unified like this. The light is unified in matter. And from this unity in numbers, there is an amplification of the ripple effect of the emission of this light through the grids, through the grounding, all connected. Extremely powerful, exponentially more powerful than those coming together in the darkness, trying to perpetuate the old. So it is too many. In terms of light, they are outnumbered. Also, what's important is not to take what's going on too seriously. Enjoy the show. The light does come out on top, and there's a reason, an ingenious design as to why things are playing out exactly the way that they are playing out, because individuals are going to expose themselves through this process. The light in disguise, always perspective, discernment at the moment. It is okay to say no. As empaths, dating back, you will know one of the challenges is saying no to people. Okay, but now the empaths are saying no, no more. And when we do that, when an empath, when an individual of light, a light worker, a starseed stands in their power, they become the darkness's worst nightmare. Because an empath and an individual embodying the light is connected to their higher self, to their guides, and they receive higher intelligence about what is going on, what is really going on, what is going to happen in the future. So the light is a step ahead. The darkness doesn't have access to this because they have decided to act from a place that is not within integrity, and they are acting out of alignment. And this guidance system, until they make the changes, is not accessible to them. That's why I always say integrity is the foundation for this information, for this higher intelligence. So by doing this, by being the light, by being a good person, you will have access to so much more of the self, and you will be a step ahead. That's the message. That's the little energy update. Have a magic week moving forward, everyone. Cheers.